I'd like to shift gears and ask you about supply chains and inflation. We just saw the latest inflation data this morning. Certainly prices are high, especially food prices. Food at restaurants up close to 5% over last year. And you all have raised prices, I believe, about 4% this summer. Um, are you still struggling with getting any of the supplies that you need right now? I was just at a Chipotle a couple of weeks ago and they ran out of guacamole. It may have been a
Uh,
temporary thing, but there was certainly some rioting in the line. Are
yeah.
you seeing any supply chain issues right now?
Look, the supply chain is still tight. What we're dealing with more than anything else, frankly, is that a lot of our suppliers, they're still struggling with staffing to, you know, basically pull together the goods that they then need to provide us. So whether that's, chicken or, packaging avocados, we're seeing, uh, fortunately for us, no shortages, but we do continue to hear there's a lot of pressure, and people are doing everything they can to ensure companies like ours don't run out of products. But we're definitely not past this discussion where it's a weekly conversation to figure out, okay, how do we keep our supply chain going? We don't want to run out of any products. Sorry to hear we were out of guacamole. That sounds like that was more of a store issue than a supply chain issue, though, would be my guess. Freight is still tricky, and getting workers is still tricky. And while that continues to go, it's going to continue to be a tight supply chain.
Yeah. Can I ask directly, are you anticipating any more price increases this year for your company?
We don't have anything planned, but obviously we are keeping a close eye on what is happening with all of our costs, and then subsequently we'll take action if we need to. Fortunately for Chipotle, we have a really good value proposition, so we do have pricing power. So if we needed to pull that lever, we feel like we could. I'd prefer not to. I'd love to find other places to offset the costs so that we don't have to impact ultimately the purchase price of our burritos and bowls. But, you know, sometimes there comes a point where you have no other lever to pull than the pricing lever. And nothing's planned right now, but we'll see how the rest of the year unfolds.